Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakarkadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. Shalom to the Akim, scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And Shalom to the Akim, that be like us in the spoken word, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And this is a outside walk and talk lesson. Got through with camp not too long ago with the elders and the Akim. So this is a news article that I just seen right here. This is from RT.com, business news, alternative news around the world. And this is on September 30th, 2022. On this Thursday afternoon at 4:07 p.m. Central Standard Time. And this is a news article in the news for today, and it says the highlight of this news article, and it reads, it says rupees soars against the euro and the dollar, and it says world top reserve currencies have nosedive on Moscow exchange amiding geographical uncertainty. And it says the Russian ruble has strengthened to a new highest against the euro and the US dollar during Friday's trade on the Moscow exchange. And it says amending the threat of further Western sanctions on the Donbass republics as the Zaporozhye and the Kherson region are set to become of Russia. And it says the US was trading at a 8-year low against Russia's currency of 51.1 rupees as of 12:10 GMT, because at different time zones, probably potentially from a different other country, probably like Europe or something like that. And it says the EU currency briefly sank below 51 rupees at one point. And it says the dollar fell about 54 rupees for the first time since July. And it says both top global reserve currencies and been declining since the ruble, amending the rising geopolitical tensions. The Russian denomination has remained strong in recent months. It says partly due to the limit demands from imports, which are already gripping with the effects of the sanctions of Moscow. And it says analysts explain the imbalance in the ratio of the currencies. But the large scale of sales of the euro and the dollar in the absence of the demand on the Moscow exchange on Thursday, the advisor, the first deputy chairman of the Central Bank of Russia, Sergei Maslov, if I pronounce his name right, and it says exchange between the dollar and the euro could be halted if sanctions are introduced against the Moscow exchange. So yeah, I'm going to read all the rest of the article. So that goes to show you that the exchange between because I did a previously video mention about India, China, and Russia. They separate themselves from the American dollar or the euro dollar as well too. So they doing that. Like if they want to do like transactions and stuff like that, it's gonna be like in rubies or silver or stuff like that, because they they divide their way from the American dollar. They slip away from the American dollar because the American dollar got a high value right now at the moment, because everything is gonna turn into digital currency. So that's what these other nations are doing to digital currency. They furthering that digital currency. So they don't want to go with the euro or the American dollar, because American dollar right now is at the highest value right now currently. But, especially doing with the stocks exchange, the U.S. dollar the U.S. stocks exchange has failed recently for the past like couple days so far, and that trend is keep on continuing, due to the hyperinflation, and the cost of living and everything like that. Not only is it affecting in places like North America and places like Europe as well too, because they exchanging rubies for gas importing and exporting out as well too. So that goes into that MOTB, which is Revelations 13 and 16. Hey, that's that Karagma coming soon. So that's why these nations doing like exchange for rubies and silver in these other countries, or like the yen over there in China with their currency. Because like the currency of the paper dollar is going to be full, digital. Because we're seeing signs of the paper dollars. It got somewhat good, decent value right now, but that value is going to turn into like full digital currency, and we're seeing that we're seeing the currency of the paper dollars slowly but surely turning into exchange of digital, like the rubies and the silvers, like I just mentioned with Russia doing, because now you have the rubies and the silvers over there in Russia is surging against the euro and the dollar, and I think they said it's been the first time in a while. So that shows you a sign right there that that the paper dollar is going to be no more value, because he's seeing continually increased signs of that. So this paper dollar is definitely going to deteriorate at some point. But right now, the U.S. dollar is at the highest at its value as it's since been in a while. I believe since the 1982 or 1985, I believe. But the digital currency is going to turn into being fully implemented as digital currency. So now we're seeing the prime example right here that the euro and the US dollar, it's gonna at one point somewhat it's gonna turn into it's gonna at some point turn into being full digital, because we are living in that digital age right now, because it's gonna be fully all out digital, because the paper dollar is not going to be no more value, because we're seeing signs of it. Like I mentioned before, the U.S. dollar have a good value right now, but all that is going to turn to currency exchange, because it's going to be exchange of full digital currency, and we're living in a time right now when it's going to be close to that point of it being fully mandatory of digital exchange. But matter of fact, I'm gonna read the rest of the article. But top global reserves currencies have been declining against the ruble in amending the geopolitical tensions. The Russian denomination has demanded strong recent months, partly due to the limits demands for importers, which are already grappling with the effects of the sanctions on Moscow. It says analysts explain the imbalance in the ratio of the currency by the large scale of sales of euro and the dollar, and the absence of demand on the Moscow exchange. On Thursday, the advisor, the first deputy chairman of the Central Bank of Russia, Sergei Navis, said the exchange trading in the dollar and the euro could be halted if sanctions are introduced against Moscow's exchange. Right, because the United States kept on putting economic sanctions on Russia. Now, after what the United States did with this Nord Stream pipelines thing over there in Russia, and the United States ain't boasting about it, so that has a lot to do with that as well too, So I wouldn't be surprised that Russia and its allies put economic sanctions on the United States as well too. So the United States will have to put economic sanctions on these other countries. So I wouldn't be surprised Russia put economic sanctions on the United States as well too. But continuing on with the reading, it says the ruble's rise comes as Russian Vladimir Putin signs 2 decree recognizing the former Ukraine as regions of Kherson and Sapara, if I pronounced that right. I couldn't pronounce the name of that country. It says as independent sovereignty states on Thursday. Right, because you got some of those regions over there in Ukraine, they being recognized as Russian territories. It says independent sovereign states, and Thursday the move came on the eve of the official ceremony in which Russian president is expected to sign treaties on the importing of the regions of Kherson and Zaporozhye, as well as the two Donbass republics into the Russian referendums of joining Russia were held in Zaporozhye and Kherson, as well as the Donetsk People's Republic, the DPR, and the Luhansk People Republic, the LPR, between September 23rd and September 27th. So yeah, after those recent moves President Vladimir Putin did, now you got this current news right here. We're seeing the ruble surging against the euros and the dollars. Now, with that, you have that going on of, they coming, Vladimir Putin has had that little ceremony that he had earlier today, recognizing those countries as a Russian territory, and he recognized those countries. I believe it's like 4 or 5 countries that he did a mobilization of. So yeah, and I believe they had like a certain vote over there, I believe the Ukrainians gonna be with Russia of agreeing to those, recognizing those as Russian territories over there, as the war between Russia and Ukraine continues to go on. Now you got this news right here of shows, that this is another clear example that the MOTB is definitely coming into full effect. That the paper dollar is going to be turned into currency very soon, like full currency, which is the paper dollar is going to continue to dwindle down as we seeing, continuing signs of that, because you got nations over there like Russia, China, India, and other countries that's follow along suit, that they don't want to deal with the American paper dollar no more, because everything is turning to, they come with their own form of currency, just like China with their yen, their digital currency. Places like Nigeria, Jamaica, earlier this year, all the way into last year, I believe they had like their getting close to implementing of their digital currency. Places like India with their digital currency being implemented, especially with Joe Biden making that announcement for December the 13th of about some potentially of about central banks or something like that. So yeah, that shows signs of increase. Yeah, that shows you more signs of increase that the paper dollar is going to be
Stony Island,
digital.
Olive
We're
Harbor.
living in a digital currency age. It's going to be full implemented with that MOTB.